Okay, I am feeling tired as fuck now. Like literally, I've been yesterday and a couple days before. I've been spending all my time just like doing homework all day. So much work, not enough time to do all that work, and it's been stressful. Unfortunately, I don't. I think like on each of my homeworks, there was like at least one question that I kind of like BS'd or didn't even do because like the deadline was coming up, and I was like, just gotta submit whatever I have. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes life just comes at you. But like coming from that experience, like sometimes no matter what you do, you just won't be able to finish your tasks in the amount of time that you have. And when that happens, I think the most important thing is to like know that like you didn't quite get through everything. Probably like mark the problems that you like. My idea is like just mark the problems that you weren't able to get by in a deadline, and then like try to do them later. If you really just can't get stuck, then like maybe read the solutions of what they do, because at that point, if you're not getting if you really don't know, I feel like one good option is to read the solutions and understand them. So yeah, what I want to do in the future is probably get, especially with the fact that I went from 4 texts to 3 texts, is to get homework started earlier. Especially with the fact that all my homework assignments are due Friday, I want to kind of just use Friday as like a buffer day, Like try to finish on Thursday and use Friday as a buffer day, because I got to teach for 3 fucking hours on Friday on top of like a bunch of other stuff. And the other reason why I want to do this is so I can actually so I'm like staying on top of things and not falling behind, which is what often happens in college. So the thing that often happens in college is people decide not to do decide innocently, just decide, I'm not going to go to lecture today, which is not the end of the world. Well, if you quickly catch back up, but as a result of missing that lecture, because if you can't don't watch know the lecture material, it's kind of hard to do the homework and like anything else that will help you understand this stuff. So then because you don't do that, and because you didn't go to that first lecture, you probably won't understand what this next lecture is talking about. And if you don't, and because people think lecture is useless, they just decide to go to ditch. And before you know it, you're like 5 to 6 lectures behind and trying to catch up in like a week or so. Very stressful. I don't want to do that. And because it violates the one thing I've been taught since I was like fucking 9 or 10 years old as a swimmer, and that is called consistency. Because coaches have yelled at me multiple times for missing practice. And why did they yell at you for missing practice? It's because it violates the idea of consistency, and you're not putting your work in daily to get to your next goal. So now my life is a little better. Just 3 classes to worry about instead of 4. I think this is gonna help me quite a bit. And I think I can do much better with just 3 classes and have some balance in my life. Because outside of classes, there's also teaching, which takes up a good chunk of time. And then there's also, there's I gotta stay fit. I gotta probably wanna still like have some kind of social life, hang out with people. And yeah, the one other thing that has kind of pissed me off this week is from Thursday to fucking Sunday, why in the name of God's green earth have the fucking pools been closed? Like, come on. Come on. I'm a swimmer. I want to fucking swim, but the pools are closed, which means I can't get in the water. Like, I want to get in the water and be able to swim, because that is how I, get faster and better as a swimmer. But anyways, aside from the rant, I've been able to run with one of my friends, Richik. I noticed that like he's been running consistently, and I'm like this guy's crap. If I know him, it could also help me. So why don't I just ask to join him on a run? And he's like, sure, because matter of fact, he says he never almost never runs with anyone else. So joining Richie on the run would be goaded. Yeah. So anyways, just aside from the recap, now we're gonna just talk about like the college weekend in general. So, so what is the idea of the college weekend? The weekday you've been working, working, working. Now there's like on a weekend, okay, suddenly there's no classes, there's no lecture. Sometimes there's not even any activities to do. So you're like, what the fuck do I do this entire goddamn weekend? So, so a lot of one resort thing students will often turn to is just saying, okay, now I can just chill in my room all day long and not do anything. But that is not exactly a good idea because one your weekday is gonna be busy as fuck, and second of all, there's better things to do. Second of all, you don't have as much time as you think. So so let me share something with you. Share something with you right now. Come on. So let's say we want to create, pie chart. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. But how about let's just do a whiteboard instead. So let's say on a weekend, you have 2 days. Each of the 2 days you're probably awake for let's say you're awake for 30 hours because you want that extra sleep. 30 hours on a weekend. Well, well 6 of these hours are already gone. 6 of these hours are already gone, for eating. And then you probably also got, you know you need some self time. You need probably like 2 hours for yourself for and especially with chores and all that, yada yada yada. And then grocery and you got grocery shopping. That takes another 2 hours or so. And now like one third of that time is already gone because for you just to take care of your own personal needs. With one third of the time gone, now you only have 20 hours left. Still seems like a lot, right? Well, with that time, you got you probably have to spend an hour to do chores, to do house chores, and then you probably also got and then you probably want to exercise as well for like 2 to 3 hours, especially as a swimmer. And then after that, for in my case, I also got 2 to 3 hours of grading. I got grading to do. That takes some time, and I also got to set aside time to make this YouTube video for you guys. So with that all that time, we're probably only looking at about 12 to 13 hours of actual studying time. So now your time goes from all this 30 hours to this 12 to 13 hours. But hey, there is more. Let's say now I want to spend, 2 to 3 2 to 3 hours for to socialize with my friends. Now we're probably gone to like, you know, about 10 hours. Now I only have 10 hours over the weekend left to study. You can see that, this is taking up quite a lot of time. And then once you have 10 hours left, you're really getting short on time. Like if I'm being serious, that is not much time to study. Like you can see how I go from 30 hours down to 10 hours to actually study. And by doing that, you really realize that how precious time is limited. Oh, and before that, take like 2 to 3 more hours to for the internship grind as a CS major because it's recruiting season. Now you're down to like 7 to 8 hours. Very little time to actually study and that stuff. So yeah, think about if so yeah if you're wondering if you ever think a weekend you have a lot of time, I would think again because you really only have probably like you really have like very little. I would say you have very limited time to actually do your stuff. And with that, I just like to talk about this because budgeting time is involves numbers. I love numbers, and it's also by talking about this, I also help myself be a little more aware of this stuff because teaching is one great way to actually learn stuff. Because if you have to explain to other people, you're also helping yourself understand because you kind of need to understand things better to be able to teach it properly to others. And with that, that goes my time. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all learned something interesting and see you next time.